Hello everyone, back again. I've been having a lot going on and a lot of ideas, so since I'm in the car, I'm going to go take advantage of my time, and I've got an idea here from the Lithium 2300 Yu-Gi-Oh! Cross Banlist Cup from 2022. I think I'm just going to let him talk here, and then I'll interrupt him if I see fit, and see kind of what I'm thinking about the deck list and any comments he has to say. I've been trying to come up with this for many years, ever since I really heard of the cross ban list, or really, I guess, when I discovered it or whatnot. I really had came up with an idea kind of similar to this, not necessarily with the information that he would have, because he has to know how to play at least half the decks. So, I mean, he does a good job on that. And he commentates over, and he speeds through the video and whatnot, so I highly recommend checking it out. If you're trying to learn a deck, especially if it's just a retro deck, you want to learn the basics on like the original build, like how, like in a fun sense, not in like a meta, this is top tier, this card isn't good anymore, so on and so forth. But it's very fun for like old school players, I feel like, as well, because they can understand the basics. And back when Yu-Gi-Oh was more simple, I guess, in a sense, where things actually made sense, like taking advantage, like getting rid of your opponent's resource actually helped you. Now it's you destroy something from their hand or whatever, then they get a graveyard effect and then summon from deck and then start full combo on your turn. And when you could play on your turn a little bit more and they didn't have reactions and so forth. Sometimes, I mean, some decks are going to be having the hand traps and whatnot. Obviously for 2022 the pattern was pretty much the old decks versus the new decks in the finals, at least, and it's still going on at the moment. But obviously a 2020 era deck is going to likely win, whether it's Sword Soul or it's Dinosaurs or it's Sky Strikers or whatever deck is doing real well. I'm not really sure. I pay attention to one video at a time, not necessarily the whole thing. But yeah, obviously when you're trying to use, say, Painful Choice or something, and it just gets Ash, it's like, okay, you just ruined my whole combo, because if I could have Painful Choiced out 4 of my Light Sworns to grave or something, I could drop my Judgment Dragon, blow up the board, bait and negate whatever you needed to do, but then Ash stopped you. So, just one of those basic type of concepts or whatever. Something I came up with off the top of my head. So yeah, I rambled on for a little bit here. Basically, I want to cast decks, in a sense. I want my friends to be playing these certain decks and whatnot, and I have a lot of different ideas, whether we go bracket to bracket, we each play 2 decks. There's infinite possibilities, as I usually say, for a lot of different things. But yeah, I'm just going to let him talk, and then I will comment on what I think. Alright, here we go.
Guys, welcome back. Finally, Cross Banlist Cup 2022. I had this scheduled like some time ago, but then Konami decided to drop Master Duel, to drop a new ban list, and so on and so on. But finally, we can reveal the 32 decks from this year. So as you know, or at least if you know, or if you're new to the channel, the Cross Banlist Cup is a series that returns yearly, short set. It's a tournament series every year that, or where 32 decks from the history of this game, real deck lists that ever topped like regionals, big YCS, big tournament.
Still waiting for an Ultra Geist deck. Come on, dude. I like a rogue version of this. It's not top tier. Yeah, that's how it goes. I don't think it's ever going to happen. It might be something I have to do myself. Or if anyone's listening to this somehow, please take my idea and do a great job on it. I really hope you do, because I'll check it out. If you do, comment down below, let me know, and I'll definitely check out your stuff, because I really like this concept. Okay, pal, you're going on. Okay, so the first deck's going to be Dark World.
It's Dark World, and not the Dark World version that I used like years ago.
From 2014?
Cross Banlist Cup editions. This is this Benedict Chunks deck list from, was it YCS or Shonen Jump YCS Chicago back in 2014. Heavily focused on deep draw, Dark World.
A lot of traps in the side deck.
The tech, I guess, of the Dark Creator. A cool deck list. I kind of prefer this one over the version I was using like years ago from, when was it, 2012, around Dino Rabbit era. But ranked 8 turbo Turbo Grapha returns, so I'm definitely excited for this one. And the sighting is there as well. The second deck is, I've seen it multiple times being mentioned in the announcement video a couple of weeks ago, and I eventually went for it.
Yes.
I think the first time
yes.
this particular deck joins the Cross Banlist Cup series.
Frog STK.
And it's Frog
one of the
STK
greatest decks ever.
2010
my favorites.
First place World Championship deck list.
I don't care if it loses DD Crow or Effect Baylor or Imperm or Skill Drain or Ash. I don't care. It's still awesome.
Main deck, Mars Driver Burn, using stuff like XUC Substitute.
Or MST.
And the potential Psychic is there if you want smokescreen-ish Psychic into like a Frog Monarch deck with Light and Darkness.
That's awesome. That's awesome, dude. Great job.
Surprise your opponent that you're
great job, Lithium. That was great.
So, also excited for this one, even though it's an FTK, but
who cares? It's gonna lose every game pretty much anyways.
Next up, the third deck is was it featured last year? I don't think so. At least it was a variation. But Teledad returns this year.
Teledad. I like those type decks. Combo.
Player. That name should ring a bell. Teledad featuring, and that's important, Royal Oppression.
Yeah. Free wins. Flip that oppression when you already have the win. Give him no chance to come back. Card might be something to consider to come back nowadays, really. Or something similar to it, with a card effect. That'd be cool. Macro Rabbit. Rabbit into 2 normals and a Dulker Alagius at 4 pass? Yeah. Good luck playing through my Solemns, Fiendish Chains, Torrentials, Bottomless, Dimensional Prison, Macro, Starlight Road. I mean, come on. You ain't playing, pal. I've got a couple friends that I think would really be good at these decks. It would be my Blackwing guy and Chronomaly guy. Silent, and I don't have a nickname for the other guy. Technically. Blackwings, I mean, come on. We know who we're talking about here. So that was the first video. We're going to compile the rest of these, at least one more. Because my trip's at least another 7-8 minutes.
It is Halloween. Give us something to scream about. What's up, guys? Welcome back.
Okay, we're gonna skip through
Any
this.
suggestions that will come third of the first deck list? Here, even though the deck list is much different, the first two decks of every group will take on each other. Anyway, so the first deck list, a highly suggested deck in the announcement.
This is such an original concept, though. He has a better tournament breakdown than I would come up with.
Even though the deck list is much
I don't know the
different,
World Cup idea,
but more focused not on extra link, but
where you're not just
actual
eliminated
list.
right
But
away.
it's also featuring Gunblar, and Gunblar is currently banned in the DCG
For good reason.
The capability to discard multiple cards from your opponent's hand and basically leave them without any cards to
Surprisingly,
play
that's
if they
still
don't
real good.
exist.
Not
So,
really surprising,
Goki
but
don't take Goki Gunblar
it's a slight
as
exaggeration.
game
That's
hero
not,
for
if
against
it wasn't
first
word
place
to never be
list.
good. To ever not be good, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
So you can't go wrong with this one, right?
Goki Gunblar,
You see this one.
just busted.
Next one, and that's,
Spam the
that's a
board.
biggie. It's
Max C,
also
deck your opponent out.
suggested for this year. It wasn't in the Cross Balance Cup last year, so I think it's ready for the return. But Astrograph Turbo, Electromite Turbo,
Pendulum.
again, however you want to call it. Astrograph Sorcerer recently got back
Oh
to
man,
what it is
I
put
think
along with
Astrograph
DCG.
Pendulum
Who
deck
knows,
is
Electromite might
nuts.
follow suit in
Any deck with
DCG as well, but for
Astrograph or
now,
any of the newer sport like
it's only
2018
for
on is just
DCG players,
busted.
so, was about to say,
Mithrilium,
this is not
Supreme
nostalgic, but
King,
it's also such a
any
broken
of that.
deck. Triple Wavering Eyes as well, so this is Master Rule for
And they were already destroyed before that,
Next,
you know,
this is
by
a
the
big
ban
one,
list.
one of the big,
Time
one
and
of the most
again,
suggested
whether they
decks,
came back or not,
in the video that
they
I
definitely
uploaded
got
a couple of
hit
weeks ago,
at
Infernal
points.
Knights, a deck is from
Oh,
2000,
Infernal, I hate that deck.
and
That's a bullcrap deck. Like, that's legitimately a bullcrap deck. I don't have a problem with a lot of decks to play against, but that's literally bullcrap.
the Firex needle fiber with link cross right, and that opens up multiple
spam the board, rip cards out of your opponent's hand with smoke grenade.
With smoke grenade, which
Yeah,
is in here a super
bull
old
crap
school
deck,
card
dude.
to confiscate something from
I mean,
your
I like
opponent's
combo
hand,
decks, but
discard
I
something
don't mind negates necessarily to play with. But I don't want to rip cards out of my opponent's hand and have 3 negates and they can't play with the 3 cards they have. What are you gonna get? Forbidden Droplets and then maybe Alistair into Mecha Buff past turn? Okay, cool.
Next up, and that's the last one, again, one
The
of the
3
more
cards you have
recent
in hand,
decks
because
here
you're
in
gonna
this
rip
year's
2 to 3
Crossbalance
out.
Cup. And,
stupid, dude.
well, I was going to say it has
That's
been
very
featured, but
degenerate.
again, one of
I'd
the
rather get
variations,
FTK'd or locked
PK
out
or
than
PK Fire, but the Brave
that.
PK enters this year's
think.
Crossbalance Cup with, I was going to say, a couple of nostalgic
Phantom
cards, but
Knight.
that's not true. We have Destiny Hero, Phoenix Enforcer.
Phoenix
we have
Enforcer
Anaconda,
package.
The Brave Engine, the
Brave Adventure,
is there
yeah.
as well. So,
I know a guy who knows how to play Phantom Knights. A couple guys know how to play Phantom Knights, I think, that could easily play these decks. I think Chronomaly and I would just, we'd probably pass on playing that. We don't know it well enough.
And the top-notch Master Floor Pendulum deck. So for me, that's it. This is Group E. Again, if you have any suggestions, definitely let me know down below. If you have other better decks, feel free to let me know. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video.
Yeah, that was pretty much, you know, the first 2 videos. Hopefully I'll get a review out on the other ones and try to not interrupt them so much. Hopefully you got something out of that. This video is mainly just for friends anyways, to kind of look and see at some things, or at least an advertisement on what he's saying here. But yeah, hopefully this was somewhat enjoyable. I tried to do something while I was in the car here, my little drive. Maybe when I take a longer trip, I'll be able to do a longer video and more in depth, but I feel like this video is kind of a lot of information already to take in, which some people can do it, some people need more time to do it, and they don't have the habit of going back and rewatching something or pausing and thinking whatever they need to do. They just are like, oh, too much, I give up. It's like, that's the wrong way to go about things. So I wasn't overwhelmed by it at all. I know pretty much what these decks do, how to do some things in them at least. I know a couple of the combos in every deck pretty much on here. You know, kind of sort of what you would do to stop them. It's kind of some things that I'm good at. As for keeping up with the meta and that kind of stuff, it's never been my thing. Frankly, for the longest time, I've pretty much disliked every meta deck while they were meta, and that's consistent. I've never liked a meta deck really and played it in the sense of like, oh, it was announced I'm playing this. You know, I haven't really played for the better part of 2-3 years really consistently and whatnot, like every day. And even then, we pretty much just played rogue stuff with some meta cards in them a lot of times. Sometimes we played against some meta cards and meta decks, but not necessarily the most top tier stuff. You know, we'd play against like Ash Blossom. We'd play against I don't know what cards are top tier at the time. Thunder Dragon Colossus and that kind of stuff. Altergeist, Trickstars. Back in the day, back when those were top tier. But it wasn't like complete degeneracy. I don't feel like, you know, at times, sometimes it could be, but not inherently, if that makes sense too. So yeah, that was the video, and hopefully there's more to come. Have a good day, guys.